Good morning from the heart of New York City. This is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast dedicated to wanting to learn and apply to eat better daily. I'm your host, Angela Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist, your personal fat loss guru, your fellow keto and intermittent fasting geek, your fellow biohacker, and just someone with a lot of passion and obsession about healthy food, healthy eating, diets, nutrition, biochemistry, feeling your best, looking your best, performing your best on all levels, and just understanding how it all works when you put something in your body, when you put something in your mind, in your mouth, on your plate, when you change it up, and how it affects your health, your performance, your body composition. I'm on a mission to help you to clarify what happens when we eat, depending on what we eat and when we eat and what we do after. So today we continue talking about a healthy gut and about the book and what I'm learning from the book, Healthy Gut, Healthy You. And it's all about, of course, diet, but also lifestyle practices that you need to think about or you need to learn about in order to have a healthy gut, because our bacteria, our gut bacteria outnumbers human cells 10-1, and if we don't take a good care of these guys, then we're not gonna feel great, perform great, or look great. So today we continue talking about diet aspects for a healthy gut, or in other words, we continue talking about creating a healthy environment for our gut bacteria and what we put in our body, especially on our plate. Food is the most intimate connection with the outside environment. So whatever we put in our body, what food we consume, that influences a lot the kind of environment that we have in our body and where our gut bugs live. And we want to feed and nourish good gut bugs and have as less as possible bad bugs who don't necessarily benefit us. So long story short, yesterday we talked about inflammation and not eating foods that cause allergic reaction and you are sensitive to, and foods that help you to control your blood sugar to avoid your blood sugar spikes. Yesterday we talked about how important it is to create healthy environment in your gut, and those two factors, avoiding allergens in your foods and in your environment, and controlling your blood sugar through your food, probably the most important dietary principles or areas of mastery that you need to be aware about and constantly learn more, like what makes you feel good, what are you allergic to, what are you sensitive to, what makes your blood sugar go high, when you feel like your heart is racing and then there is a low crush of energy and you're feeling cranky. So you got to figure out those foods and eating behaviors that cause it, and you got to eliminate that as much as possible. And today we're going to continue talking about healthy environment for our gut bugs and what creates that healthy environment. So today we're talking about fiber especially. So as you might know or might have heard, fiber is good for our gut bugs, right? Fiber feeds our good gut bugs and help to create that healthy environment for our bugs. But you see, too much fiber might not be really such a great idea, especially for people who have IBS or irritable bowel syndrome, people who have small intestine bacteria overgrowth. There is such a thing as too much bacteria too, and you'd be surprised, but a lot of people with metabolic disorders, metabolic issues, people with obesity, with diabetes, with even heart disease have bacteria overgrowth in their small intestines because of their poor eating and lifestyle habits. And adding more fiber in that diet is not a great idea, especially if you experiencing bloating, gas, constipation, any kind of discomfort on a regular basis, you might actually eliminate fiber for a couple of weeks as much as possible to heal your gut to help your gut bacteria to heal itself and stabilize the amount and the population of gut bacteria. Especially, guys, you want to learn if you're having, those gas, bloating, etc. You want to learn what FODMAPs are. FODMAPs are short chain carbohydrates. It's, in scientific form used in nutrition. It's chain of carbohydrates and sugar alcohols that are poorly digested by the body. They ferment in the large intestine during digestion, drawing in water and producing carbon dioxide, hydrogen, methane gas that causes the intestine to expand. This causes symptoms like bloating, pain, gas, all kind of not so pleasant symptoms. And FODMAPs are in a lot of actually otherwise healthy foods and in some additives. So for people who have IBS, who have constant gas, bloating, or some kind of digestive issues all the time, it is actually recommended to try low FODMAP diet that avoids foods that contain those carbohydrates and alcohols that create the fermentation process. And basically eat more healthy animal products and foods low in FODMAPs. So what are the foods that you should be avoiding if you have that, gas, bloating, and constant discomfort in your digestive tract? So for example, onions, garlic, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, snow peas, asparagus, artichoke, leeks, beetroot, celery, sweet corn, Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, fruits like peaches, apricots, nectarines, basically a lot of stone fruits, blackberries, cherries, dried fruits, beans and lentils, wheat and rye, bread, cereal, pastas. You see, a lot of people are not necessarily gluten sensitive or gluten intolerant, but people cannot, they have bacteria overgrowth in their small intestine or a similar condition, and actually it's just too much fiber that causes the uncomfortable sensation, not so much gluten. So wheat and rye free diet might not be because might not work for a lot of people because they are gluten sensitive, but because they need to go easy on fiber and figure out how to heal their gut. And then anything with lactose or milk sugar, like milk, soft cheeses, yogurt, ice cream, custard, pudding, cottage cheese, nuts, including cashews and pistachios. That's why you also want at some point to go on a nut-free diet. Sweeteners and artificial sweeteners like high fructose corn syrup, honey, agave nectar, sorbitol, xylitol, maltitol, isomalt, and drinks like alcohol, sport drinks, and even coconut water. So that I'm gonna put the link to low FODMAP diet in the show notes, so check it out and you might try it out. Actually I'm doing it right now because after eating all these vegetables, I started having kind of, that's like too much gas or like just not comfortable feeling in my stomach after I eat all these vegetables. So I'm trying this low food diet and basically being carnivorous all my meals. Also works great for fat loss, so win-win. So that's when it comes to fiber. More fiber is not necessarily better for you. So again, check out the show notes for low FODMAP diet. Then you want to concentrate on whole foods before organic, before pasteurized and grass-fed. So for gut health, it's more important that you get whole foods like your meats and fish and whole vegetables and nuts and seeds and all of that before you go for some fancy MCT oil or fat bombs or some fancy protein shakes. Whole foods before organic, before eat your nuts and seeds instead of getting some organic keto protein bar processed with some God knows what. So always go for whole foods. That's the first priority if you want to heal your gut and have a healthy gut. Another concept that you want to embrace is, if you can't hunt it, fish it, grow it, gather it, don't eat it. That should be your rule for your food choices most of the time. Again, if you can't hunt it, fish it, grow it, or gather it, don't eat it. So that's the rule for a healthy gut, for healthy eating behaviors for most of the time, except for special occasions. Another concept you want to understand when it comes to healthy gut, health, body recomposition, weight loss, you always want to make sure that you focus first and foremost on your diet and add exercise later. Just being active is more than enough for health and even for quite efficient fat loss, weight loss if you're really good with your diet, but it doesn't work the other way around, meaning if you focus all your energy on exercise and don't pay attention to your diet, then you're not necessarily going to see any significant improvements when it comes to your health, to your gut health, to your fat loss, or to your body recompositioning, and even to gain strength and to build muscles, because every single cell in your body is built from the foods that you're putting in. And if you're putting in poor quality fuel, then your cells are going to be of a poor quality, and your muscles and your heart muscle and everything. So you're not going to even perform in the gym the best you can, leave alone weight loss, fat loss. And probably the last but not least, I want you to pay attention to artificial stuff and additives in your food. More and more research coming out that what we add in our foods, even in small amounts, even like some artificial sweeteners or some like emulsifiers is a huge thing right now that they say changes your gut microbiome and can actually be one of the biggest causes of obesity, of metabolic disorders, of inflammation in our body. So just avoid as much as possible artificial stuff added to your food. And if you don't know what the ingredient is, look it up once and for all, and then you know what it is. And if it doesn't sound like something you want to put in your kitchen and use on a daily basis, then don't buy that product. Find some kind of alternative. And fun fact of today, guys. So you know how I'm passionate about low carbohydrate diet, keto diet, and all of that, right? But I also been on a fruitarian diet. I've been on a high carb diet, almost no fat diet, almost no protein diet. So I compare it to diets, and ketogenic diet, I've been on it for 6 years. Low carb diet obviously works much better for me. Like I feel better, I look better, like I just never have any issues with my weight. So there is a whole theory that genetically that our genetics influence the way our gut microbiome works. So for example, I'm being of northern origin, have certain bugs that are beneficial for me, but if you, for example, do like a fecal transplant and put the same bacteria that are beneficial to me to the body of someone who is of African origin, for example, then they actually might get sick because of our genetic differences. So there is a whole theory that people whose genetic origin closer to equatorial region, they thrive on a higher carbohydrate diet, higher fiber diet. And people who are closer to the northern regions, like myself, being from Siberia, thrive more often on a high fat, higher protein, but very low carb diet. And funny fact, even if you compare, for example, tribes of people who live, still close to natural lifestyle, and compare their diet, for example, Hadza, hunter-gatherers from Africa, their diet is much richer in fiber and carbohydrates, and they're in amazing health. They don't have, these degenerative diseases, and they live obviously closer to equator in equatorial region. Then people on Mediterranean diet have a kind of in-between diet. They're moderate on carbs, they're moderate on fats, they're moderate on protein, and that region is somewhere in the middle between south and north. And people like, Eskimos or Inuit tribes, their traditional diet is basically carbs non-existent, a lot of fat and protein, and they also seem to thrive on that diet. So climate also seems to make a difference, and where we originate from, to our gut health, our diet, and what kind of diet is best for us. So I guess I found my ideal diet, and your task for life, one of the tasks is to find your ideal diet. So gut health, carbohydrates, inflammation, allergies, low FODMAPs diet, fiber, and how it's not necessarily the best thing for your gut health. We talked about all of this, and if you have any questions, need more information, always feel free to reach out and shoot an email to Angela@createyourself.today. Angela@createyourself.today. There's going to be a link to low FODMAP diet also in the show notes, so check it out if you feel you might need it. And tomorrow we're gonna talk about lifestyle factors that influence our gut health. But till then, guys, take care of your gut, eat healthy, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.